Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with that patterned paper bag, the altered pattern paper bag that we have been making. We've been doing a folio from it. And it's just one of those things that I've, been hoarding for years because I just loved the, the patterns on the bag. And it was always my intention to then kind of, use it somehow and make something with it. But it's taken me this long to actually get around to doing it. So, yep, finally gotten around to doing it now. So, I have to say, this is the first time I've tried to fold it in now, really, since sticking things in. And yeah, it's a little bit more bulbous than I'd, hoped. But anyway, it's all fine. Hopefully it's all fine anyway. I say it's all fine. Hopefully it's all fine. So what we have done so far, we've just put this pocket here with some flaps here. And then we've attached these envelopes sort of in this configuration where we've got, a fold up and then fold ins. Yep. So just want to kind of do something on this side now. Now I'm pretty sure I had stitched another pocket, which now of course I can't now see. Oh yeah, it was this one. Oh, and this was the one that I hadn't actually finished stitching. So yeah, I obviously could do with stitching this on the sewing machine to actually attach it. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine. So what I've done, I've stitched it the same as I did the other one, where I haven't stitched the actual pocket down, so that when I glue this down, this pocket here will be the full depth of this, if you see what I mean, rather than this. I hope that makes sense. I don't even know if it made sense to myself, my own ears, but yeah, hopefully it's kind of made sense. So yeah, we're going to have this obviously glued onto here. Now I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to have it on this side. So we had the other one on this flap here, if you see what I mean, but this one I'm going to have here. Also, because this has got that fold where it was obviously the paper bag, it's got that fold where the bottom of the bag was, or it could have been the side of the bag. So it's actually working quite well to, stiffen that a little bit and kind of overcome that, bendy thing that's going on with that. Right, okay, now again I've got some black lace. So we were debating whether or not to have the black lace, weren't we, in the last one? And obviously we did go for the black lace, which, I do really love. So I'm thinking definitely put some down here that's going to reinforce that spine. I just wanted to check whether I needed to put that on first. I don't think I do, so that's all good. So I'm just going to use my 3-in-1 here to glue this one down. So running it on this edge, not on the edge of that other page, if you see what I mean. So that's it. Okay. And then we're just going to glue that down here. Oops. Now this one I've actually done slightly short, if I'm truthful. Not really intentionally, but yep, made it slightly short. But it's fine. And again, once everything's decorated up and things, you're not even really going to be aware whether things are too short or not. So, it's all good. So glue that one down there like that. And obviously I'm using the 3-in-1 rather than the tacky glue, because if you watch the last one, we found that the tacky glue, it was just slightly too slow drying. So because this is a little bit of a glossy-ish surface on the paper bag, it needs something that's a little bit faster to dry. So yeah, that's why I'm using that. Right, let's cut this down. So this is just my strip of lace. I'm just going to cut it down so that I can get it on the right way. Okay, so yeah, like that. Now I might actually take this side down, and then it's just got a sort of scrappy edge as well, and it's not so wide. So yeah, I think that's kind of nicer. Maybe we'll have it that way. So I've got more of the lace on this side rather than over there. So again, just going to obviously glue that down with the 3-in-1. So plenty of glue because you want it to be, nicely stuck down. Get rid of that piece of paper that's floating around on there. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, we said we're having the scrappy edge, didn't we? Oh gosh, now I can't see which is the right way and which is the wrong way of this lace. Oh dear, I still can't really see. Putting my glasses on, off, on, off. Trying to see if that will help, and so far it's not helped. I still can't really tell. Right, okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Like that. So, it looks good. Yeah, love how that looks. So, hopefully this is now sticking down. We could always add some flaps and things to this pocket as well, but, you know, we'll have to think about whether we want to do that. So, I need to decide which way is going to be the opening way, if you see what I mean. I think it needs to go that way. So, I will probably have to trim this down. I've got a slightly long edge here, so I'll just take this in. I mean, this is just my shoddy workmanship, really. You know, I didn't obviously spend ages kind of measuring or trimming it down or anything. So, yeah, just needed to kind of trim that up. So, yeah, this one's going to go in here, then like that. So, if we're having this one in, we could always do something on this side as well, which again would be fantastic because that's, again, the other side of that fold where we've got that vulnerable point where it's obviously wanting to, you know, wanting to fold. I mean, hopefully we've got around that anyway, since we've stuck these pockets on. But we could always kind of reinforce that as well because, you know, it never hurts to reinforce, really. So better to have too much than not enough, really. So just going to have a quick look around and see what I might have to make some sort of pockets on there. Oh, what have I got? I'm going to bring in the book with the illustrations again. And we'll just see whether we could do anything with those. And the only thing is, as you can see, it's all, you know, landscape. And what I could do with is obviously, you know, to put it this way round, because of course that's the way that this pocket is going. So I think what I'll do, because we're trying to obviously go with just black and white and, you know, what have you, I think maybe go with some sheet music. So yeah, let me just see whether I've got some beside me. No, can't find any here. Right, hold on a second. Right, I am back. So I've brought along some sheet music. Obviously, I don't want to use this bit because it's green. But yeah, the inside is, you know, an ivory colour. So I'm just going to take this down like that. Okay. Okie dokie. I do love sheet music. It's one of those things I just think you never ever grow tired of, and yeah, it just always looks good, doesn't it? You know, no matter how many times you've used it in the past, it never ever fails. So right, let's have it folded in here and then folded around there, I think. Yep. So it's kind of trebled almost in terms of its thickness, and yeah, that will kind of go along like that. And I'm just wondering whether actually that's a little bit on the wide side. So what I might do is just fold it slightly less and then fold it again here, just to make it slightly narrower like that. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. So I'm just going to glue this one now. Just because otherwise I'm just, you know, stop, start. So yeah, I'm just going to glue this one together. And to be honest, you know, you don't need to be stitching everything. Glue is absolutely fine. It works, you know, just as well. So, right. Just make sure that I've got it on the new fold rather than the old one. So, yeah. Okay. So just use my glue spreader and then just go over with the other fold here. Okie dokie. And then just, you know, a bit in the middle like that. Okay. So, yep, going again with the new fold rather than the original fold. There we go. Okay. Now, I was thinking use it this side, but actually I could use it this side and then put some lace on that edge where we then won't see the, you know, the join mark there. Yeah, it's just kind of picking where I think the notes are, you know, prettiest really. So yeah, I think probably this side. So that looks good. And like I say, that's going to actually reinforce or, you know, help anyway, to stop that where it wants to fold up, where it was obviously kind of, you know, part of the bag. So yep, we've got that one there. Now, just having a look around to see if we want anything else. Still got obviously that other envelope, so just going to check whether, no, that's not going to fit there. I mean, we could have it here, kind of stuck on the edge, but that might be a little bit weird. Could have it there, I suppose. Yeah, because to be honest, I'm going to have to cover something up here anyway, because it's got obviously the, you know, the original part of the bag showing. So we could do that. Should we do that? Yeah, let's go for that. So again, just going to actually, must remember to use the correct glue, because like we say, we, you know, already discovered that the PVA is not fast enough drying on this paper bag, because the paper bag is a bit glossy. Okay. So just going to stick that there like that. And it's quite nice because it's running on the, in the centre, more or less anyway. You know, I'm not going to be too fussy, but yeah, it's more or less running down the centre. So again, squish that down. Okay, I'm just going to leave that open because otherwise I all the time end up sticking them closed. So yeah, this is now going to go on here. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. So, I mean, very quickly and, you know, very quickly and easily, we have completed really the basis of our folio. I mean, obviously we could now add more flaps and folds and, you know, envelopes and things like that. But, you know, this is pretty good for a base, isn't it? It's pretty good start. We've got a fair amount of pockets and flaps and things like that going on. You know, and we've just done it in that very short amount of time. I mean, I think the first video was around about 50 minutes or something. I mean, obviously deduct some of the time that I took going to the sewing machine, but, you know, certainly within under 2 hours, you've got, you know, quite a good comprehensive folio going on. I mean, you've got lots of pockets, lots of flaps, lots of, you know, lots of interest and things. You know, and that's taken kind of no time whatsoever to put that together, has it? So, yeah, looking really good. So, and obviously on the front, I will be decorating the front cover, which of course we've then got that same vulnerable situation going on where it's, you know, this was the fold. And to be honest, I didn't really pay enough attention to that because my pocket just happens to land ending where that fold is, if you see what I mean. So unfortunately, I can't now really reinforce that very much here. I can, of course, put some, you know, some decorative papers and things here. But, you know, I've kind of mucked it up really by not noticing that. So I will reinforce it when we kind of do the front instead. So, yeah, let's open it back out and, yeah, let's just kind of get putting some bits and pieces in. So also got these images, which I think are quite nice. And I thought that we might be able to use in here somewhere. I mean, these I think are just from my Maribel kit, but I thought, well, colour-wise, these are pretty, you know, pretty nice on here. And almost add a bit of a contrast, really, to otherwise, you know, we've only got the sketched type style images. You know, not that I mind that, but it might be nice to have kind of a variety, mightn't it? So let's just tear this one down. Okay, so we will just, you know, decorate about. So on here, I'm just going to kind of decorate it up now. Also got that stamped one. Oh, now I'm thinking perhaps that's not black. Not sure whether that is black. I think it is, but you know, when you look and you think, could that be purple? Not sure. Wish I could remember what I'd actually stamped it in. I don't know now. I mean, I can see it's obviously not the purple that I've used above, but I don't know whether it could be. It's only because now I've put it down, it doesn't look quite as black as it was looking. You know, because all the stuff on here is very black. This is maybe not looking so black. I don't know. And now I'm going for the black, you know, the black sort of theme. I'm trying to now, you know, keep it with the black theme. Right. I mean, it's quite nice there actually. I don't know. Right, so I'm wondering whether we might reinforce this so it's stronger, and then obviously we could stick this down as a pocket, although it's got to be said it's actually a little bit on the narrow side. Got this, which is obviously from the, you know, some of the book page. I mean, I was thinking more just tear this down and have sections of this kind of torn around, which, yeah, I kind of think would look good. I mean, this I thought maybe have some of this here. So I might just tear this down. This is just like some of those first pages that you get in the book. So this is obviously the Harrods catalogue, you know, the vintage. Well, it's actually the reproduction catalogue. Right, let's just tear that down. Because again, I love all of this, you know, I love this section, I love this. So I'm thinking, tear it down, because then I've got the other bit that I can use obviously somewhere else. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Or we might prefer this here. Oh, yeah, I prefer that one, I think. So just going to get rid of this. Okie dokie. Right, let's glue this one down. So like I say, this is going to just help slightly with that tendency to the fold that I talked about that I hadn't noticed. So this fold here, this is just going to kind of like sit on that fold. So slightly thickening it. I mean, obviously it's only one, you know, one sheet of paper. So it's not going to have a big impact or a big effect, but you know, every little helps. And don't forget, we are going to, of course, put something on the front. So, you know, it will then be thickened up, you know, quite a bit by the time that we've done that. So on this, I'm thinking maybe have this little, you know, image of this building. So again, just going to ink that up a little bit. Okay. Oh, when I say a little bit, obviously I meant a lot. Oh dear. Yes, that's really inked now. Might have to even tear some of that edge off because it's actually really brown, which, yeah, didn't really want it quite as brown as that. So, yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, so, yeah, that looks very pretty. Hope I'm in frame. I wouldn't mind having something maybe behind that. So, let me just see what other bits I've got laying around, whether I could have any book page or anything. Again, just for sort of a bit of decorative effect, really. Yeah, so just take that on. Oops. Like that, okay. Oops. Honestly, the amount of stuff I've got laying around on my desk, it's unbelievable. Oh, surprising that I'm actually managing to craft at all. Oh, dear. Right. Yeah, okay. That's going to go there. So, loving that. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you use one of your, you know, if you've got any kind of old paper bags that you've been hoarding and you use them, you know, you will probably find that the inspiration just comes from those paper bags themselves. Because, I mean, obviously you've hoarded them because you love them. So, you know, you're just going to find that all of your pieces just literally flow and come together because, you know, you've used all these gorgeous bits that you've been obviously hanging on to for all that time. You know, that's what I'm kind of definitely finding is happening here. It's all just, yeah, just coming together, you know, almost on its own. I'm not really having to do anything. It's all just, you know, flowing and coming together, you know, because obviously all the bits are just so pretty. Okay. Oops, made a horrible job of cutting that. It looked quite straight here, but oh, I put it down on that envelope. It did not look straight at all, did it? Definitely not. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to get rid of these edges because they're a bit weird, aren't they? Okay. So I'm thinking we can have this here, and then maybe we could have, I guess, the... No, actually, I'm thinking here what we should do is actually have another pocket, shouldn't we? So, yeah, let's have a look and see what I've got. I'm actually thinking there we might be able to have a photograph. Just have a look through my... yeah, let me just have a look through my stash of journal cards. Like just printed ones or anything that are here behind me. Let's have a look. I think these have all got colour on, would you believe? I've got some colourless ones here. So I'm just going to pull in some of the colourless things. I'm actually now thinking, oh, perhaps what we should do is kind of go in and add some splashes of colour, actually. I had not thought this at all, but... or maybe just 1 or 2 splashes of colour. Let me just put that there for a minute and, yeah, check it out with some colourless things and see what, you know, what I'm more drawn to. So, oh, I mean, would you believe, why have I not got anything colourless here? Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, actually, even wondering I could even have these lovely pink lady cards. They're quite nice, aren't they? Oh, that's quite lovely on there. Isn't it weird how sometimes you just kind of then try something else and think, oh, a complete U-turn going on here now. Hold on. What was I saying about, oh, you'll find that your piece, it just drives itself. And now, look at me now. Going off at a tangent completely, but yeah, I couldn't resist trying this. I don't know, you know. I just, yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, that's not as colourless as I'd hoped, but I'm wondering where are all my vintage photograph printables? Not this one. It's just a question of, do we want to go for colour or do we want to go for black and white? I mean, I do love the black and white, I've got to say. But having said that, I think the colour almost looks really quite lovely. Right, let me glue this down first because that would be a good start, wouldn't it, to actually get something adhered to this. So this is just some vintage document. So it's just, you know, putting a bit of background onto that envelope. So yeah, let's put that down there. Okay. Right. Just take my glue spreader. Okay. Yeah, that's quite nice. Oh, I just can't decide now. I wish I hadn't actually tried that, because it's thrown me completely, and now I'm left in a quandary thinking, do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? Right, I've got some of my little, you know, Victorian album pieces here. So I'm just going to try a couple of these and just see, because, you know, these might look quite good in here if I'm adding splashes of colour. So, yeah, let's just have a look and see. Because I'm torn now. I'm in two minds, to colour or not to colour. And again, I wish that I could ask you guys. The problem is, by the time the video goes up, you know, I will have completed the folio and had to go off on my own decision. Oh, I think I said that I have got another one of these carrier bags, so we could always make a second one. I don't really do repeats, to be honest, and I would probably find it a bit boring to do another one, even though it would actually look completely different if we had sort of coloured one and a black and white one. Yeah, perhaps I should dig it out and see if I can bring myself to do a second one. I don't know whether I can. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of thinking if we added a few bits like this. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I wish someone could just tell me what to do, because this is too difficult. Cannot possibly decide. Oh, I do really like the yeah, I do really like that splash of colour, to be honest. You know, I was all set for keep it neutral, keep it plain. But now I'm like, oh, I don't know, I do really like it like this. And actually, I'm just having a look at some ephemera pieces that I've just got laying around the desk and thinking, well, you know, if we went for colour, I could use some of these bits. And oops, just dragged the paper clip with me. Oh, it needs a different paper clip. It's all got bent out of shape. Oh gosh, this is so tough to decide. I'm so sorry. Oh, I have got, I've just seen, I have got some architecture photographs. So again, they're printables. I mean, that's a really classy looking room, isn't it? Or hallway. Can't read what it says, but yeah. Oh, that's really nice, isn't it? Oh, oh, please telepathically just send me your guides of what I should go with. Do I go for colour or do I go for neutral? Oh, can't decide. Just kind of playing around with other bits that I've got here that, you know, kind of if I went for colour, what would it look further in? What would it look like further in? You know, will I kind of then regret going for colour? Let's just have a quick look. What else have I got? I've got this big butterfly. Oh, I don't know. Oh, don't you just hate it when you can't decide? I mean, what is wrong with me? Why can't I decide? That's the question. Why? Why can't I just decide? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This is just crazy, 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 crazy. And I'm so sorry if I'm just really irritating you by, you know, deliberating endlessly here, but it just is really tricky. I just don't know. I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? You know, to have that like that. Oh look, that was another pocket that I'd made actually that I've now not used. What else have I got laying around? We have some book page here. Like that. I don't know, in all honesty. I feel like I'm losing something. Let me just put in a couple of these. And, you know, it could just be that I've got the wrong piece there, you know, that I need a different piece. Sometimes that's, you know, that's all that's required, isn't it? It's, you know, a different piece. Oh, I mean, that bird looks quite nice, doesn't it? Or, you know, I've got obviously more of those Pink Lady journal cards, which, of course, you know, then at least would be a sort of similar theme, wouldn't they? So maybe that's, you know, what I should be doing, is at least using something vaguely similar rather than completely going off at a weird, you know, weird tangent. Right, let me just have a look at that. Now I've got some flowers here, so I'm just going to bring in these. And again, you know, these might not really look right at all. You might not have the right colours, might not be the right flowers, but just thinking, let's try these. Honestly, I so knew what I was doing with this, and it was all going fine. And then, of course, I made the mistake of just trying a coloured piece, and now that's it. I'm now stumped completely as to what to do. Oh, wish I'd never tried in the first place, because I was really happy with how it was going. I don't know. I mean, I do quite like those, to be honest. And, you know, we could then obviously have, you know, some coloured journal cards and things in there. And equally, we could then have some black and white journal cards and things coming out from these pockets. So, yeah, perhaps we should do this, because I'm thinking otherwise, you know, maybe I'm just being way too predictable and just doing, you know, just the obvious thing, which, oh, who wants to be obvious? So, yeah, let's not be obvious. Let's go for mixing it up a bit. So, yeah. I think I will try and stick a bit with the Pink Lady stuff, because, you know, maybe I'm trying to add way, way, way too much by then, you know, adding a whole bunch of different things. You know, maybe that's where I'm going really drastically wrong. So, yeah, perhaps I should try and now stick a little bit with, you know, one or two of these things. Now, do we want that there with a pocket? Because I'm going to have obviously the lace running down the side. So do we want to have the pocket here or here? Okay, let's put the lace down. So, oops. Sorry, just wipe that blobby bit off of my glue. Okay. Okay. Oh, do you know, it's coming up to a cup of tea time, and I'm now thinking, oh my gosh, I hope I don't go and get a cup of tea and come back and look at this and think, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? You know, because maybe I've just gone completely crazy because it was coming up to my time for a cup of tea. Oh, stranger things have happened after all. So, yeah, I hope that's not going to be the case here. Right, just going to stick this down. Right. Okay, so I'm going to then put this one down. So, and, you know, I mean, obviously this is just a printable, and we're just literally putting it down as a, you know, as a pocket on here. So, you know, it doesn't get any easier than that. But it's just a brilliant way to just add some very quick and easy pockets, isn't it? To just add some printable bits. You know, you don't have to use printables. Obviously, if you've got postcards or anything that you might be able to use, or, you know, photographs or anything, then, you know, that would work fine too. But it's just, you know, a nice, quick and easy way to, you know, to get some things, isn't it? So now I've got that pink flower. That's rather pretty. Or I could have like the pink flower here that would then perhaps introduce and tie in the colours, you know, from one side to the other. I've also got this green flower, so let's try this with the pink. Okay. So what do you think? Do you think I've made the right decision? Let me know below whether you think daring was the right thing to do, or whether you're actually horrified and think, oh my goodness, what's she doing? She should have just stuck with the black and ivory theme. I'm in two minds currently. So, yep, and I won't be offended. Whatever you say, it's absolutely fine. You know, I don't mind what you guys are thinking. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, I was obviously originally thinking here. Well, perhaps, yeah, perhaps I'll put them there. They do look very lovely there, don't they? Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to just hot glue these down. And I'm just using hot glue, just, you know, lazy and just for speed, really. So one there, and then, yeah, another one. Okay. That one there. Okay. Right, let me just pop a little dab of glue here. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Oh, I love how that looks. Very, very pretty. That flower looks a little bit flat there, but never mind, it's fine. Right, so this one we're going to have up here, and again, just going to glue this down as a little pocket. Like that. Okay. Over there, off to the side a little bit, just so I've got room then to have the lace running, you know, alongside it. So I'll just then pop the lace down here. Okay. Right, okay. Oh, I hope I haven't made a mistake, honestly. Still thinking it over in my mind, thinking, oh my goodness, is this the right thing? Was this the right way to go? But it does look super pretty, doesn't it? I mean, there's no getting away from that. That does look really lovely over there. It's just whether it looks lovely, you know, with everything else. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it will once it's all kind of, you know, come together and finished. Right, okay. Now, I've also got some doily here, which I'm thinking definitely could maybe use a bit of doily. Now this is white. Well, it's not really white, it's ivory. What I'm saying is it's not coffee dyed or anything. But yeah, I'm thinking just could maybe have a bit of doily going on somewhere. Okay. And now, would we want to go with another one of the illustrations from the book, or would we go with a, you know, another printable? Let's just have a look and see. So if we have that there, I'm just going to tear this out. Honestly, I just love these images so much. I'm definitely going to have a look for another one of these books. They're just gorgeous. You know, I love the fact that they are actually illustrations rather than, you know, photographs or anything. They're really lovely. Okay, just take that down slightly more. I mean, I do quite like that, or I'm thinking maybe it needs to be up there to kind of add some sort of balance. Yeah, I think probably it's better up there. Just need to decide which way, because obviously it's a bit wide at the moment. So do we want that portion showing more or that portion? I think probably that portion. So yeah, let's just tear that down there. Okay, that's really nice, isn't it? So again, just going to ink that up a bit. I must try and not be quite so heavy-handed with my ink this time, because remember, that's quite a juicy ink pad. Don't want to smother it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, liking how that looks. Do we like the doily on there? I think the doily's pretty, yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Just put that one down like that. Now, obviously, I haven't glued up here, so I'm just going to kind of go in and just, yeah, glue a little bit at the top. Okay. Here, like that. That's pretty, isn't it? So much for me saying, oh, you know, the bag will just dictate the project. You know, no, I've now gone away from that, and now the bag's not really dictated the project at all. But that being said, I do really love how it's looking so far. So yeah, like I say, whether I will, once I come back with my cup of tea, or whether then suddenly I will have a sort of, oh my goodness, moment of panic thinking, what on earth was I thinking? I'm not sure. But so far, I am actually really liking it. So yeah, I think, you know, it's nice to do different things, isn't it? And, you know, I have made a sort of black and white folio before. So, you know, plain black and white. So, I mean, to be honest, it's quite nice to actually do something, you know, do something a bit different and mix up the colours and be a bit daring. So, right, I've just got another green one there. That's quite pretty. Oh, that's quite pretty there. Right, let's put that one down there. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, definitely loving that. Now, just along here, I'm thinking, do we want a bit of lace? Just because, yeah, just because, really. So, yeah, I always like to have a lot of lace on things, so let's just snip this down. I don't know, really, whether this is actually right on here or not, but kind of more preferring it up there, weirdly enough, rather than at the bottom. That envelope has obviously come away a little bit, you know, in the coffee dyeing process, and it's looking a little bit, you know, with this scrappy edge, which I'm not really loving. So, yeah, I need to smooth that edge down a bit, because that's just not liking it. It's got, yeah, a bit of an irritating look for me. So, yeah, stay down this time, stay down. I do quite like the thingy-me-bob there. I'm losing the ability to speak. You can tell, obviously, it is cup of tea time, and now I'm, yeah, can't speak properly, so I do apologise. I'm going to stop soon. We'll stop in a minute and go and get a cup of tea, and then, yeah, hopefully I'll improve. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? Unfortunately, that ribbon is a little bit on the big side, but I'm just kind of thinking, does that look, you know, does that look really pretty? Or I don't know. Definitely love that addition of the pink. That's just gorgeous. Let me have a look at my wax seals. I mean, who would have thought that anything kind of pinky would look good remotely on here? I mean, it's weird, isn't it? No, this is the one, isn't it? That definitely is the one. So, yep, shocking as that is, that's definitely the piece to have on there. I hope that this isn't going to be too bulky. Oh, it's not too bad, actually. Yeah, because this is one of those wax, you know, cabochons that we've done with our wax seals. And, yeah, I was just a little bit worried that it was going to be a bit too bulky, but actually it didn't seem to be the case. So, yeah, let's put that there. And then I'm just going to put a little dab of glue under here. Okay. Yay. Okay, so yeah, completely gone off at a tangent with this, haven't we? You know, it's not going how I'd expected it to go, but absolutely loving how it's looking so far. So yeah, I will call it a day there. You know, get myself a cup of tea and hopefully regain some sort of sense of, you know, I don't know, just some sense maybe. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Did I make the right decision by adding the splash of colour, or are you thinking, no, she should have left it sort of neutrals? Let me know below, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then, bye.